This video is going to look at the idea of least common multiple, or LCM. So first of all, let's take a look at it in a backwards order, so MCL. Let's take a look at the multiples first. So multiples, think of multiplication tables. So the multiples of 2, for instance, might be 2, and then the next one in your multiplication table is 4. 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 2 is 8, and so on. Okay? So you've got multiples. If I kept on going, I'd have 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. And I could keep going. Multiples go on forever, just like numbers. Okay? But we're not looking for all of them. We're just looking for one they have in common. So let's take a look at the multiples of 5. So 5 would be 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. So again, I could go on forever with those. But I'm not looking to go on forever. I'm looking to find ones that they have in common. Common means the same. So now I'm looking for ones they have the same. Well, let's see. 5 has 5. Does 2 have 5? Nope, 2 doesn't have 5. It has 4 and then 6, so it skips over 5. 5 has 10. Does 2 have 10? Sure enough, it does. So there's a 10 there in the multiples of 5. There's also a 10 in the multiples of 2. So these are ones they have in common, or the same. You'll notice also, as you look through them, that they both have a 20. Okay? So your numbers will have more than one multiple in common. But what are we looking for? We're looking for the least or the lowest common multiple. Well, out of the multiples we've got here, which is a 10 and a 20, those are both common, the lowest common multiple is the 10. That's the smallest number out of all of them. So the LCM, the least common multiple of 2 and 5, is 10. So if we look at 5 and 7 as another example, the LCM of 5 and 7, let's start with the 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Now I know that my 5s end in 5 and 0, and this is the first one I've come across in my 7s that ends in 5 or 0. So I know that that's going to be in my 5s. In fact, if I did my 5s, I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. There's no need to go any further, because 35 is the least common multiple. And you will have noticed also that if you just multiply those two numbers together, 5 times 7, you're going to get a common multiple. In this case, it happens to be the least common or lowest common multiple. But it's not always like that. You can get a common multiple by multiplying them together, but it might not be the lowest. Case in point, if I take 2 and 8, if I multiply 2 and 8, 2 times 8, I get 16. So if I look in my 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, sure enough, there's a 16 there, right? And if I look at my 8s, I get 8, 16. So yes, there is a common multiple. But did you notice also that 8 is a common multiple? And 8 is lower, so that is the least common multiple. So while you will find a common multiple by multiplying the two numbers together, or if there are 3 numbers, if you're finding the LCM of 2, 3, and 4, for instance, well, why don't we just do that? If we're at the LCM of 2, 3, and 4, I get my 2s, 2, 4, 3, 6, no, skipped over, 6, we got 6, what about the 4? 4, 8, not quite, this one has an 8, but this one doesn't, 12, 8, there's 12, 8, 10, there we go. So in this case, the least common multiple of those 3 is 12. They all have a 12. So you can do least common multiple for 3 of them. And in this case, if I had multiplied the 3 of them together, I would have got 2 times 3, which is 6, times 4, which is 24. And 24 is another common multiple. If I'd kept going, I would have got to 24, right? but the least common multiple is 12. So again, sometimes you can get it just by multiplying like this, and sometimes not. If the smaller number, so in this case the 2, goes into the bigger number, like 8 can be divided by 2 evenly, if it goes in, then the bigger number is the LCM. And that's just a rule of thumb. But that's basically how LCM works. You figure out what the multiples are, you look at the ones they have in common, and you find the lowest one or the least one of them all.